What's up YouTube? It's JB Tech Fanatic and I'm back again with another video. As always, I want to start this video by thanking each of you for joining me. If you have not yet subscribed, I'd be so honored if you would consider. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And if you want to know when the latest content is available, don't forget to click the notifications to on. Today we are back with part 2 on the all-new Bose700 Smart Soundbar. Now, if you're looking for in-depth specifications, unboxing, close-up look, definitely check out part 1. I cover this bar in great detail. Just click the link above and it will take you to the video. Today we are going to go over how to maximize your experience with your Bose700 Smart Soundbar, with your rear speakers, and of course with your bass module. We will also go over some of my tips and tricks, and I'm going to show you some features that you might not know exist. I can't wait to get started. Let's do this. How do you actually get Dolby Atmos sound? This is a question that I get asked over and over again on my part 1 video. Yes, Bose700 is the first Bose product to support Dolby Atmos. However, you must have an outsource that also puts out Dolby Atmos, because the soundbar can only project what it's given. So you need a TV with an eARC port on the back. This stands for Enhanced ARC. It's a format of HDMI 2.1 and it takes the sound from your TV and puts it into your Bose Soundbar 900. Your TV must also support Dolby Atmos. You might have a TV with eARC that doesn't support Atmos. This is such an unfortunate thing. It happens for one reason and one reason only: money. It costs these manufacturers money for every format that they put on their products. I'm not sure all the ins and outs of it, but it does happen. But let's just say you have a TV with an eARC port, your TV supports Dolby Atmos. You simply would turn on, as an example, Netflix at that point, and there is lots of content with Dolby Atmos. However, no matter what, not all content has Dolby Atmos. Remember that. You will not always get it. So, if you have a TV that just has ARC or optical, ARC is still way better as far as optical goes, but you will still have a great sounding experience. You could still get Dolby Digital 5.1 and some other formats, but that is what you're stuck with for now until you upgrade your TV, or they actually have a converter box. It is a workaround. I'll just say look into it. I don't want to really recommend it, because if it doesn't work for you, I don't want you to be out. They're not cheap, $300-400 bucks, but it does exist. You could research it. But for now, let's just say you want a TV that supports the format. Let's talk about product placement. Now, this is a crucial category and can truly make or break your experience. Now, depending on the type of room, of course, we all have different environments. You want to utilize the acoustics of your room to your advantage. This gives you a better immersion than if you just set these up, on any old table, let things be in front of them, so on and so forth. So first, I highly recommend, if you only have the 900 soundbar, at some point, get yourself 1 or 2 bass module 700s, and then you can get yourself a set of rear speakers. Your choices are the Omni Jewel 700. These are what I recommend. They're a little bit more expensive. Or the standard cubes. Now, starting with the cube speaker. Remember, these are a direct firing speaker. You only have one speaker. What you want to do with these is, if you're going to use stands or put them on a side table, essentially you want these about or at ear level of your sitting area. You want these directly facing the viewing area to get the full immersion. So again, these are going to be in the back, either behind your sitting area or kind of facing in, depending on what kind of room you have. You can either mount these to the ceiling, mount these to the wall, or get stands or put them on a table. Two best positions, either A, ceiling mounted, directly firing at sort of the listeners and your sitting area, or table level, ear level, somewhere about there, facing the sitting area. Now, if you get the Omni Jewel 700, the beauty of these is you have more or less 4 holes that sound comes out of. Now, if you use these, the 2 ways I recommend using them, either A, ceiling mounted, you want to put it in the corner of your room, so this sits diamond shaped up on the ceiling, and it is going to give you that 4-way firing. And if you are able to utilize the corner of your room, it's also going to use the environment to sort of bounce sounds off of your walls. No matter where you put these, either on a stand, ceiling mount, or anywhere, you don't want to block any of the grills. So if you're one of those people and you just have to mount them on your wall, mount it and put it diamond shape. That way it does not block anything completely. You're still going to get a little bit of, not that much space, but you're going to get the best result that you can. If you use a stand, it really doesn't matter. Here's the sitting area here. You want to either have them on the sides or preferably behind the sitting area. Once you do that, you want to run the Adapt IQ bass module. Now the bass modules are very powerful. Some of us do 1, some of us do 2. You can use a max 2 bass modules with the system and only 1 set of rear speakers. No matter which one you choose, you can only have 1 set. So the bass modules, there's 2 ways I recommend it. If you're someone that wants more bass and extra immersion, what I recommend is taking the bass module, putting it next to your sitting area, and preferably touching your couch just slightly. The air hole facing directly forward. What this is going to do for you is, since it's further away from the bar, when you run the Adapt IQ, it's going to tell that bass module to produce more sound. So you're going to get a much better punch, if you would. You're going to get much more bass when you listen to music. And if you slightly touch it to your furniture, you're going to get that vibration immersion like in a Dolby Atmos theater. It's something that I do as a little trick, but I love it. Or the next way to use your bass module is either to the left or right in the front of your soundbar. It really doesn't matter, but what I always try to do is put it where we have a corner. If this was the corner right here in my room, I'm going to stick that bass module right here. Air hole facing directly out, and it's going to again utilize sort of that V-shaped wall there, or corner if you would, and just really give you that extra punch. It's just really a great immersive experience. If you also are only running 1 bass module and you're going to run it in the front, I highly recommend just hardwiring it in. Listen, wireless is great and it's useful, but if it's right next to your TV stand and you're really not going to see the wire, just wire it in. Side note, if you're going to run 2 bass modules, they have to be wireless and they have to be the same product. So either the 500 or the 700. All right, so let's talk about placement of the 900 soundbar. If you have a TV stand and you're going to sit it on top, or if you're going to have any kind of, I don't know, stand, or if you want to wall mount it, what you really want to make sure is that you give some space behind the bar. If you use it on a stand, as an example, from back of your soundbar, you have your air holes here. You want to give it, if possible, about 12 inches from the backside to your wall. Make sure that there's nothing behind it. That way it gives you better sound. The next thing that's really important, especially with the 900, since we have Dolby Atmos and we have up-firing speakers, we want to make sure that this does not sit all the way under your TV. You can see that Bose gives you a little bit of distance here to kind of slide it, but you don't want to go any further than the top of these speakers. You also want to have a direct line of sight to your ceiling, as Dolby Atmos through these speakers are going to sort of throw sound over you and drop it on you, if you would. Think of rain. Raining down, you want that sound to come from the top. If you slide this all the way under your TV, or if you use a TV mount, you're going to hurt the sound. So what I recommend, again, from back to the wall, direct line of sight, around 12 inches. Nothing on top, the TV not blocking the top speakers, and a direct line of sight to the ceiling. Next, you have, of course, the front of the soundbar. Now, there's not much you can do with this in many situations, but I will tell you this, sometimes we have TVs that are mounted way too high, and in turn, we have TV stands that are really too high. Remember, when mounting a TV, the best place for it to be mounted is that you have direct line of sight to the middle of the screen. If you do that, your soundbars will sit at the proper position, especially if you have a low couch. Think of it. If this is directly facing you and you're sitting basically at ear level or a little bit above, you're getting that sound directly hitting you, giving you a much better immersion than if, as an example, it was way up here and you were sitting way down here. So overall, what you really want to do is maintain proper distancing, as well as giving every speaker, whether it be the top, the front, or the rear, a direct line of sight, and to utilize the acoustics of your room as best as possible, which brings me to my next point. On the left and right side, best case scenario is to have walls either 10 to 15 feet, if possible. Again, running the Adapt IQ process is so important. A lot of people ask me how to get better separation. A little trick that I do when I am doing my Adapt IQ is, one, remember always to move to all 5 positions, but on 2 of the positions, I will actually walk all the way to the left of my bar and all the way to the right of my bar, allowing the Adapt IQ process to sort of separate that sound a little bit better. And honestly, it works. Let's move on. Many of us, before owning the 900, had purchased the Bose 700. Now, maybe you just purchased it, or maybe you've owned it for a while. Either way, sometimes it always stings when the new product comes out and you just spent a ton of money on, as an example, in this case, the Bose 700. So then the question is, do we sell it? What do we do with it, right? Do we put it in another room? Now, what we're going to go over next is what Bose has accomplished with multi-room audio. This is something that a lot of people do not know how to function, and also they don't even know it exists. But it definitely makes older products that we have in our home still have great value and helps give us an awesome immersive experience. 2 things have taken place since the Bose 900 have come out, and really it's through software updates. Now, the Bose Music app, we have the multi-room audio experience, allowing us to, example, have the Bose 900 on your TV, watching a movie, listening to music, and then you can link it through the Bose Music app through Wi-Fi Direct. Again, this is different. It's not Bluetooth. It's not directly connected, but you can have sound essentially coming out of your 700 system and your 900 system, or the other systems that work with the Bose Music app at the same time. Now, even further, another software update has brought us something that is really exciting, especially for us YouTube lovers, and that is the Bose soundbars now have Chromecast built in. What that means is we finally have Google Music, which is now YouTube Music, built in to the Bose sound or Bose music system. This allows us to play multi-room audio with the Google Home Hub on multiple devices throughout your home. So if you have Google speakers and smart devices, you can actually turn them all on, all together at the same time and run your favorite song. This is an amazing experience, and it's great for parties. It's great if you just are cleaning the house and you want music through your whole house. And I'm going to show you how to achieve it. Let's do it.
Now we are talking about the multi-room audio. Why is this cool? Well, it's really important because we are able to link our Soundbar 900 together with our 700. And just to be clear, this can be done with any Bose products that utilize the Bose Music app ecosystem. Now, it also works via Bluetooth or TV. So here you have source, you can see you have TV or Bluetooth. Whatever you choose, this will work. If you choose Bluetooth, what will happen is the device that's connected to your 900 will control the 900, and the 900 will control your other products like your 700. Same with the TV. So we're on TV here. You can see it's playing from TV. What you're going to do next is you're going to go to Group. Now, I've connected the 700 to the 900 to the app to show you. As you can see, currently we are using the main bar, which is locked. So it's going to be controlling your 700. All you need to do now is select the speakers you want to use. In this case, we're going to use the Soundbar 700. Simply press plus, and it will say that it's connecting. I have a great router. Extremely important to remember that a router is going to make all the difference, especially when you are connecting multiple devices. Maybe you have several sound bars and you want to connect them all together. So the sound will be relaying through Wi-Fi. Now that we are connected, you can see you have the group volume, that you can turn everything up at the same time, or you can individually turn, your 900 up, 700, whatever you want to do. At any time, you can end the group, and again, you can do this with multiple products. Let me just tell you, imagine this, your Bose 900 completed with a bass module and rears, and you have a 700 completed with a bass module and rears. It is going to link that all together into one listening experience that is intense, especially if you're having a house party. It just sounds so good. You got to try it. A few things I wanted to point out here. You might hear people say that they have a big delay. Again, this comes down to your router's performance, because essentially the 900 is telling the router to connect to the 700, and they're communicating through your router. So your router is processing that information. And as we know, like any good computer, things can get sticky real quick. Little trick, if you're having a delay problem, press pause and then wait about 10 seconds and press play. Sometimes this helps the audio catch up. Also check your volume. If your volume, if your products are close to each other and the volume has too much of a gap, it's going to make it sound off. I recommend using group volume if you're going to consolidate a couple systems into one room. Next thing you want to do is you want to press the little settings tab up here. We're going to scroll down to audio. When you're in audio, scroll down to the bottom. Here you have your audio-video group sync. You're going to choose how you want this to be done. If you want it to be synced with your TV, select TV. When it's grouped with your soundbar, audio will sync with the other speakers in the group. The audio may not sync up with your TV's audio. This is more if you're just wanting music and you want it in your group. you're going to select this one if you're having issues. But if you're getting the sound directly from the TV, stick with the TV group and just, again, good router, pause it, and you'll be good to go. And then lastly, you have your audio delay. I put mine to 0. You can adjust it if you need to work that out to make it better. You can adjust it. Again, I'm telling you this honestly. I've connected up to 4 systems. Right now I'm using the Netgear RAX E500, so expensive, powerful router, and nearly flawless performance. You might hear slight delay here and there. The pause trick always works for me, and I just keep this on 0. And again, in my TV settings, I also have it on 0. Moving on to the Google ecosystem. This, as you now know, has Chromecast built in. What does that mean, and why is this exciting? This is exciting because it gives us Google Play Music. For those of you that do not know, it's now called YouTube Music. And to me, it's the best bargain if you're paying for a music service, which a lot of us do these days. It's something that you get for the same price as just about everyone else, except you also get ad-free YouTube. It being built into the soundbar, what that means is, 1, you can ask your Google Assistant to cast your Google Play Music and or YouTube Music account directly from the bar via Wi-Fi. Listen, this makes all the difference in the world because you're getting true CD quality, if you would, lossless quality versus Bluetooth, night and day. It's going to sound better, crisper, clearer, better bass, everything above. First thing you need to do is go to your settings. Now in your settings, you're going to see your Chromecast built in. This needs to be turned on, and VoiceCast I also have turned on. If you do not have a Google in your home, I highly recommend this, because what we're going to do now is we're actually going to utilize Google's ecosystem to use Multiroom. In your App Store, what you're going to want is Google Home. Go ahead, download it, set it up, get it ready, and let's move on. So here we are in the Google Home. As you can see here, we have media. Now, with your Google Home, if you're someone like me, crazy with technology, I have quite a bit of different speakers or smart speakers that are Google enabled. In other words, they're Google Homes. So you can link now your Bose music app products, so Bose900, 700, to your Google Home products and link all of your speakers into one, creating a massive multi-room experience that you can control with your voice or from the Google Home app. So here we're going to go to media. As soon as I clicked on media, I'm automatically greeted with all my smart products that utilize a speaker along with the Google Assistant. As you can see, this is only some of them. I'm kind of out of control here. But you will notice you have BoseSmart Soundbar 900 and the 700. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a home group. If you scroll to the bottom, you will see speaker groups. Go ahead and click that. Once you're in speaker groups, you can now assign all the speakers that you want in a group. Now, look, you have your 700, we have our 900, I have my, different displays. What's so great about this is from any of these, once I make a group, as an example, I would say, okay, and then my assistant's name, I don't want to set it off, play Creed on home group 1. Now, if home group 1 is all of my speakers, it's automatically going to turn on all of them, play music through them, all at the same time, again, allowing us to adjust each one of them. Let me show you. Okay, so I made a home group. I put all these speakers. As you can see, we have Eminem playing, and all of these speakers are check marked. If you want them to play, you can keep them checked. If you want to stop them, all you have to do is uncheck them. If you want to adjust the volume, you can adjust the volume on each of them. Sorry, I'm turning that. You have the ability to add more devices here and you can also stop everything right at the bottom. You can do this with voice. And again, if you have a speaker in every room of your house, it plays it through every room of your house. Sounds amazing, and it's just so great that it's coming via Wi-Fi, so you're getting the best quality available. I also wanted to make a note, if you have a Chromecast that you plug in via HDMI, I have a few of them, I actually unplugged them because most of it's built in now, but you also can turn on your YouTube videos and have them playing on each screen. As an example, these are, like I have the JBLs with the screens and so on and so forth, but your TV also is essentially a screen, right? So, I mean, a screen that works with the Chromecast. So you can do this all together using, in that case, very specifically the HDMI Chromecast. But otherwise, you just have a flawless, altogether musical experience that sounds great, and it, again, utilizes Wi-Fi, so a good router, again, is important. And last, but real quick, back into the Bose Music app. Don't forget those need to be checked, but most importantly, you need to have your assistant has to be Google. Again, you can choose Alexa. So if you have not done this, you got to do this first, but you want it to say Google Assistant, and then as you can see, active. Other than that, enjoy. It's amazing.
This is how I approach everything. We're talking about the Bose 900. You want to get the best experience you can. Let's think of the 3 Ps. Now, I made that up, by the way. We have our product, position, performance. First, you start with the product. The product must have the specifications that we want to get the performance that we're looking for. As an example, if you want Dolby Atmos, you need a soundbar or sound system that supports Dolby Atmos. Unfortunately, it doesn't even start there. Where it starts is the outsource. The outsource meaning any product, I don't care if I bought a $100,000 TV. If I put in an old DVD, it ain't gonna look as good as it would in 8K, right? So we need the outsource to also be able to perform to get us to what we really want to hear. So we start with the TV in this case. We want an eARC port. We want a TV that supports Dolby Vision. Maybe you don't have that yet. That's okay. If the soundbar still has sound formats that you're going to use, why not buy it? But if it doesn't, then why buy it, right? We first need to start with our TV. So we back up a little bit. Wait a minute, I want Dolby Atmos. I can't even get it. So I'm going to start maybe upgrading with my TV, and then the correct cabling, HDMI 2.1, quality cables. Now a good outsource, right? We have streaming services, or you have game consoles, Blu-ray players, if any format, even Dolby Vision or HDR. When you're shopping for your outsourced products other than your TV, those must support it. Maybe you don't have a smart TV and you're going to go get a smart or streaming stick. What you will notice, the less expensive ones won't say things like Dolby Vision or Dolby Atmos. It might be 30 bucks more, and then you'll get Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. So first we have our outsource and TVs, we have our correct cabling, and now we're moving on to our audio. With the audio, if I have everything I just listed, we have our eARC, quality cables, and we have a great outsource that's putting out quality Dolby Atmos audio. Now it's up to the Bose 900 to do its job. The reason why there is always such a gap in reviews on any product, this person says it's horrible 1 star, and this person gives it 5 star, and we step back and we think, how is it possible that they're having that much different experience? I'm going to give you an example, and this is something that you could test yourself. If you have an old phone in your house, find it. Preferably one that's 5-6 years old, okay? Stream something, let's just say from Google Play Music. Then take a newer device and stream it from that. Listen, same song, same streaming service. See if you hear a difference. Next, try to stream songs from different streaming services. And lastly, stream from a Bluetooth device and then do a Wi-Fi connected built-in service. As an example, Google Chromecast is built in. You can now, YouTube Music can be streamed via Wi-Fi, high-res quality audio, and oh my gosh, just from Bluetooth to Wi-Fi, massive difference in sound. What I'm getting at here is to truly rate the performance of any product, you must give it the proper food. Once it has the proper food, if it doesn't perform, it's the product. I think of everything this way. The ecosystem is how I shop for electronics. Now that I test products and I review products, it has really opened my eyes to sometimes how unfairly we treat some products, right? We're not giving them, it's almost like putting no soap in your washing machine and then your clothes coming out smelly, right? You have to give it all the ingredients to work properly. Those are my tips for anything electronics, even in a smart home. When it comes to smart appliances, I think, in my case, I'm a Samsung person, Samsung ecosystem. How does it work together? What benefits do I get working together? And once you think of it that way and you build that way, you truly will find yourself far less disappointed. Number one, first and foremost, we talked about this. You want a TV with high quality audio output. eARC, Dolby Atmos, DTS:X, these are all future sound technologies that sound amazing and you want a TV with them. So next time you're out, be sure to keep that in mind when purchasing a TV. Then you want to have high quality HDMI 2.1 eARC cables, and you want to have outsourced devices that support Dolby Atmos. Once this is done, it's about your environment. Don't put speakers around pillows and blankets. Don't put pictures in front of the speakers. Don't let them get tucked away to where they're inside of the cabinet or you put your soundbar inside. This is all things that are really going to degrade your experience. Do your software updates. Don't forget that each software update can bring improvements. In the old days, you would buy a sound system and essentially it would sound the same forever. There was no, doing this. This is something that actually advances what we hear, so it can correct problems and make things sound better. Next, once that's all complete, utilize the Adapt IQ process and always think environment and acoustics. That is key to getting that home theater experience at home with your Bose. Now, again, I cannot stress it enough. It's easy to just buy a bar. What I recommend is to complete the system with one of the Cube or the OmniJewel 700 rears, and either the Bass Module 500 or the Bass Module 700. Now, let me be clear about the Bass Module 500. The only people I recommend that module for is people that are in a small environment, apartment. You can't have that much noise. It's, to me, just not worth the money otherwise. And a tip to that, they sell them refurbished on the Bose eBay store. Sometimes you can get them for $350, then it's definitely worth it. That pretty much wraps up part 2 on the BoseSmart 900. I just wanted to re-emphasize, out of all the products that I've purchased from Bose, the Bose 900 has impressed me more from day one than any other upgraded renditions of any product line. As an example, when they went from the SoundTouch 300 to the Bose 700, in the beginning, it was almost an exact experience. Through time with software updates, the 700 did sort of pull itself away, in my opinion. But the Soundbar 900 is something that from day one I noticed pretty much a substantial difference, and it just keeps getting better. As always, I'd like to slow things down for a moment and remind you life is so short. Don't forget to love your family, love your neighbors, take care of each other. The world is an absolute mess right now, and the only people that can change it is you and I. Go out today and do a small act of kindness for someone. It is amazing how the smallest acts of kindness can make such a change. Also, remember, I do YouTube for you and you only, so if you need me, I will try to help you as best as possible. Best way to do that, reach out to me in the comment section, or you can come follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at JB Tech Fanatic. I would also love to have you come follow me over there, but if you need to show me some photos, if you're trying to, get questions about your setup, I am glad to help you as best as I possibly can. I want to invite you to subscribe one more time. I would be so honored. This is, something that we do together. We love technology, and everyone is welcome at my channel. Hitting that subscribe button truly means a lot to me, and talking to me. I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. So until the next video, I can't wait to talk to you in the comments and see you in the next video. And until then, I'm JB Tech Fanatic, and I'm out. Peace.